Hello, everybody. Wait, I gotta have a sip of coffee. Okay, guys, the crypto space is so overwhelming. You need to take constant coffee every single time when you're looking at this space, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. But guess what? Don't get overwhelmed. But on this channel, we like to look at trends in the cryptocurrency space, and we're going to continue to look at some of those trends today. I'm going to talk about a particular ecosystem that I always talk about, but sometimes I feel more excited than most. So today is one of those days where I really feel excited to give more information about this product. You all know it, Fetch.AI, but as well, I'm going to cover extra trends within the crypto space, what is happening right now. The bear markets are our best friends because that's when we get to redeem ourselves. And also, that's when we get to actually evaluate products that are here to survive, that are here to stay. And this time, the dynamics are different. Okay, guys, I know you're seeing something on the screen, but I explain a bit. Right now, the dynamics are different because there's a way for people to continue engaging themselves in the crypto space, especially through DeFi. DeFi is one of the most active ways, and DeFi cuts across in different ways: lending, borrowing, supplying liquidity, and getting rewarded in a particular token. It cuts across to all things like the metaverse. When we talk about things like play to earn, and we hear things like play to collect when you go into the Bored Ape Yacht Club community, the NFT side. So there's many ways of actually earning and continuously earning in this crypto space without having to take your day-to-day earnings. If you have a 9 to 5 job or whatever, there's ways of continuing your crypto growth without necessarily having to take on that risk of taking your money that's outside or your any kinds of investment outside of the crypto space and then reinvesting it back. So the dynamics are quite different today, and we're going to look at some trends that have really taken cryptocurrency mainstream and a few trends. I could name some of them right now. For example, when you look at NFTs have really taken cryptocurrencies through the roof when it goes to as far as mainstream adoption is concerned, but also things like changing the UI, changing the user interface, onboarding onto these platforms. It's going to be one of the things that we're going to look at, one of the metrics to look at when changing the ecosystem. So guys, what you're seeing on the screen, this is my website, Agent Metropolis, and I'm appealing to people out there that have any knowledge about development of websites. There's something I want to develop, but I can't really explain it here. But for the moment, just to get a rough idea of what I want to do, if you go to my website and you click on metaverse search, what you're going to see is just a bunch of metaverses. So you're going to see not metaverses, but virtual worlds. So you're going to see some virtual worlds here and some games here. So they're in this kind of arrangement. So it's an easy way to kind of take a look at some of those things that exist, at least the ones that I've looked at. And when you click on your agent, you can quickly go to you get links that are going to send you to development pages on the Fetch.AI website. You can click this to check out the simple open economic framework. So to kind of see where the agent reside on the map, what is going on. So when you come to this map, you can see all kinds of different agents doing their thing. So that's one quick way to kind of access these things. You can also look at some articles that can help you, a quick sort of introduction on how to develop your own agents. That's one of them. You can also click on other articles here, no articles, but rather links to the agent manager, for example, downloading your agent manager, looking at the agent registry. So some of the agents that are listed here, you can have access to that. Then the DeFi agent application, you can also have access to that. So this website is mostly supposed to help us sort of have an easy way to access these decentralized platforms. So if you're an expert out there in developing things like this, websites, or developing a user interface, not just the front end but the back end as well, that's what I'm mostly looking at. And here I'm still developing something to help those people that own the Neo that I created to claim their NFTs can use that. So that's enough of that. Let us cover our video today. The first thing I wanted to look at, guys, by the way, I'm also organizing my NFT drop for those that have the Neo. So this is a sample of what that looks like. So you may want to check that out if this kind of thing interests you. Okay, if you already have Neo, and if you don't, you can comment in the section to learn more. You can follow me on Twitter. So stealth rulemaking is proposed SEC rule with no mention of crypto a threat to decentralized finance. So a 600-page document proposes changes to the definition of an exchange that could extend to include DeFi protocols. Of course, the SEC is kind of trying to regulate this space, but we're going to learn that the crypto space is too big to be regulated by one person. And the argument in this article, actually, one of the people, Hester Pierce, said something. Let's see here. It's a stealth proposal because the words crypto and digital do not appear in the SEC's 654-page release, but the SEC is plainly aiming at systems, both centralized and decentralized, whose protocol aggregates indications of interest for buying and selling crypto assets, which its chair and its division of enforcement, not necessarily federal judges or juries, are eager to classify as securities exchanges. So we've got a lot of language lost within the translation of what this means, and the regulation is kind of convoluted. Guys, if you read this article, you learn there's some proponents like Hester Pierce. I'm trying to look for this. I think they quoted her or something. But okay, what they were saying is, how can we rule crypto? And I'm also going to read for you this article by this tweet by John Deaton. But the argument was, how do we rule the critical space, the crypto space? How do we judge things like decentralized finance? How do we develop regulatory framework around these things? Because can these platforms actually comply? Can they actually comply? Because you don't actually know how many users you have on these platforms. So it gets difficult to regulate these things. And personally, the way I would state it is that the free market, the laissez-faire economy, is going to choose the best platforms. It's sort of like when you look at when there's democracy or anarchy or mixing anarcho-capitalism. So you have a capitalist economy, but it's really driven by pure free economic sort of a play. So the free economy and the decisions they make sort of determines the best players. So it's similar in the cryptocurrency space, decentralized exchanges. There are going to be some scams out there, but the free economy can decide about the best players. So the people providing the products, updating the ecosystems, integrating properly, and showing that they're actually good players in this ecosystem is going to result into these decentralized ecosystems that are good players in this ecosystem. So how do we know that? We don't actually know. So before I go into the next thing, here John E. Deaton, one of the lawyers or decentralized lawyers in the XRP ecosystem that's closely watching the SEC, tweeted this. First, let me say I agree with Jake. The number one concern for regulators should be protecting investors from fraud, misrepresentation, pump and dump schemes, and flat out scams. But there is also the question of who's regulating the regulator. So guys, that's where it gets murky. That's where it really gets murky. And he was responding that to this tweet. Most crypto policy issues are complicated by how fast the tech is growing and changing. It's hard to craft specific solutions with any confidence they'll make sense in a few years. So the best thing regulators can do now is go after the actual bad actors, the frauds and the scammers. I think, guys, that makes a lot of sense. We've had a lot of crypto projects that have acted like scammers, but the SEC is not going after them. So let the SEC go after the actual projects that look like real scammers. You see what you get. We, the crypto people that have been here for a while, can spot out these things. So I'm sure the SEC can hire talent that can spot out these things. Go for those projects first, then make up your decision later. Here there was an interview. Let's go away from the regulation and go into what is actually happening in the crypto space. This is Human Chick, the CEO of Fetch.AI, with an interview. You can see these guys are elegantly seated here. And the summary of this interview, he's talking about these agents, the modules, the fetch agents, and how the summary is basically these agents they encapsulate data. So they're going to have all data about a particular machine, a particular person, a particular company, small to medium enterprises, large enterprises. You're into the supply chain, you're into the medical industry, you're into financing and accounting, all kinds of things, representing advertising, graphics, you're doing graphics. These agents are going to encapsulate information specific to the product that you create, which means it's going to make it really easy to search for this information. You have something you need, your agent's going to go out there and find another agent advertising or selling or proposing, having a proposal of something specific that you need, and they're going to interact with each other, negotiate with each other, and provide the best value for every particular individual company or machine or entity that's leveraging these agents. And all of this data is sovereign and it's completely owned by the owner. It cannot be controlled by any other company, and they properly aggregate this data, which means it's easy to search for this data, it's easy to organize it, and it's easy to actually utilize this data. So similar to what we're going to look at when you go to things like NFTs, non-fungible tokens, one of the trends that's arising is the utility within these tokens. We're also going to see utility within the actual crypto tokens themselves. Utility is going to rule over all, and this kind of market speculation on price is going to fade out as we see crypto projects come out with a proper strategy of what they want to do, longevity in their project. Guys, those that do not know about Fetch.AI, this is their website. You can come and read a lot more about them. And going back to the interview, talking more about machine learning and artificial intelligence and how that's a trend we shouldn't really fear. If you look at this website, there's a lot of buzzwords. If you haven't seen the Fetch.AI ecosystem, when you look at this website, you'll be like buzzwords, buzzwords, buzzwords. But this has been their MO. This is what they're building. If you look at their technology stack, this is what they're building and nothing has changed. It just so happens that these trends are fitting into this use case in their platform and what they're creating. So I think it's pretty cool. You can look at some of their listings: Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, Bosch Global, Festo, Outlier Ventures, some of their partners, some of their listing, their native tokens are listed, and they have other partners that they've listed with exchanges. And this website also leads you to the documents if you want to go into more detail. This is Cosmos, the ecosystem which Fetch.ai utilizes. So when you look at buzzwords like interoperability, scalability, know that the Cosmos ecosystem has been building and focusing on that. So they've not been building fast and breaking things. They've been moving slow and building actual infrastructure that's going to be robust, because it's holding people's money, it's holding assets, it's holding this new digital future. So it needs to be built slowly and carefully, not build fast and break things. So that's the difference. So Fetch.ai leverages this Cosmos ecosystem that's building out a truly inter-blockchain communication protocol that allows to connect all these ecosystems properly. And going into our trends, we see DJs, we see festivals, we see all these kinds of things. Snoop Dogg, celebrities really affiliating themselves with NFTs. We see people tweeting that they now love the crypto landscape because of NFTs, the fun, the colors, the invigoration that it brings to this crypto space. It takes away the nerdy aspect of it and makes adoption of it quite easier and better. So NFTs have truly brought the crypto space into the landscape, and we see articles talking about, of course, things like Decentraland. And let me read for you this quote over here in this article: crypto tech trends in 2022, the user interface, the scalability, the metaverse applications, so virtual worlds. And we can see things like this. In 2022, the crypto ecosystem has to finally deliver a compelling user experience that is suitable for mainstream audiences to onboard. So without sacrificing security, I believe momentum towards the end of 2021 shows builders understand the urgency of progress here, said Enim Emin Gun Sirer, a professor of computer science at Cornell University and the co-founder of Avalabs. Those that don't know, Avalanche, AVAX. So this was a quote from this person. And we also, if you go into, okay, let's first read this tweet here. On the Ethereum side, scaling and sustainability are the two big ones. So with Ethereum's full transition to proof of stake happening this year, hopefully it happens this year, and rollups going mainstream, that's a type of technology used for a second layer scaling of the Ethereum network. So most of the layer 2 technologies are using rollups, but there's also other technology stacks like sidechains and different other blockchains to actually scale this. But anyway, I expect those will be the biggest themes, said Ethereum developer Sim Bako. So other quotes: "This is a key achieving scale." This is key to achieving scale, unlocking liquidity, and developing a marketplace accessible to all. So you can see these trends, marketplaces. It also talks about other platforms like Arbitrum, which is another layer 2 scaling solution, and how Cosmos and Polkadot are really fronting the scalability kind of situation, and how Cosmos itself is a leader in this space. The Cosmos ecosystem is the leading edge for interoperability and interchain technologies. For example, I expect the Cosmos ecosystem to deploy more industry-leading interchain technologies, such as interchain accounts, suggested Dean Tribble. So this is by Crypto News. This is an article by Crypto News. And this other article talks about some of the significant trends in the NFT space. We can see Sandbox, Decentraland, Axie Infinity. And the article goes on to say how Axie Infinity has really established itself in terms of the way it has changed the lives of people. When certain third world countries, people have played Axie Infinity, actually generated income to pay their day-to-day earnings, earn from it, play. So true play to earn type of trends. So this is appealing to NFT space. Personally, I'm excited to see NFTs as access passes for various experiences, both in real life and online. So imagine a model in which creators make content that can only be accessed by fans that own a specific NFT, which will have greater utility and more value for owners. We're seeing projects that have emerged from the NFT ecosystem, that have created their own ecosystem, their own small communities, like the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and other MetaKey projects, like the MetaKey and others. So where you have this NFT and you can have access, even Dap Radar websites where you have the particular tokens and you can have access to their exclusive part or exclusive contents, whether it goes to Discord, whether it's Discord or the actual project itself or the website, whether it's advertising. So we're seeing utility really establish itself as crypto goes mainstream, which I think is pretty amazing. So enough of all this sort of speculation, but people can stay in the crypto space regardless of what is happening with the prices or the immediate prices and what is going on, or what at least they appear to be. So in this last article, I'll just read this sort of headline: the metaverse calls NFTs construct virtual economies to stay relevant in 2022. And of course, this goes back, this is the one talking about the utility in different NFTs and ecosystems, and that utility use case that's being brought forth into the ecosystem, into the crypto space, into the real world outside of the crypto space, emerging together because of these trends that we can see now in the crypto space and in the real world. All right, guys, I hope you learned something in this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.